G'day guys, my name is Dave and welcome to another Guitars Are Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Change the World by Eric Clapton, which is a great acoustic tune. For the basics, you'll just need a guitar and standard tuning and you won't need a capo. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsareadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. And finally, if you're fairly new to guitar and you're looking to build a strong, solid foundation whilst having a lot of fun, then be sure to check out the Guitars Are Hero Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start with the intro, and there's two lines of tab here. We're going to start with an E major chord, but we're going to have our index finger lifted because we're going to hammer this into place in a moment. We'll start with the open 6th string. On the end beat after the 1, we'll do a downstroke and basically strum this chord, but we'll hammer our index finger into place. So 1 and 2. On the end beat after 2, we'll hit the root note again. So 1 and 2, and then we'll go to an F sharp minor 7. So to do that, keep your ring finger where it is, put your pinky finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and middle finger will go onto the 2nd fret of the 6th string. And we want our 5th string muted, and that will naturally occur as you reach your middle finger across to hit that 2nd fret of the 6th string. So we'll just focus on these 4 strings, but if you happen to hit the open 2nd string, that's okay. So that's on the 3 beat. On the 4 beat, we'll hit the root note one more time, and on the end beat after the 4, we'll shift up to a G chord. So just our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and again, we'll mute the 5th string, and that will naturally occur as you reach your middle finger over the 5th string to hit the 6th string. So we'll just strum up to the 2nd string or so, and that's on the end beat after the 4. So 3 and 4 and 1. And the first bar in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. On the end beat after 1, we'll hit the root note again. And at this point, you take your index finger and put on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And we'll quickly pluck the 3rd and 4th string. And then 4 more plucks after that. The 2nd, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So together with that root note that started on the end beat after 1. I have the suggested picking direction in the tab below, but use whatever picking direction is more comfortable for you. For the 3rd bar, we'll lift our index finger from that 2nd fret. We'll start with the root note of this G shape, do a strum here, and then on the end beat after 2, back to the root note. So 1 and 2 and down to the F sharp minor 7, do a strum there, and then on the 4 beat, we'll go back to the root note. So 3 and 4, and we'll change back to our E major chord on the end beat after the 4. And again, when we hit this E major chord, we're going to hammer our index finger into place. So this 3rd bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And for this final bar, we'll just do some picking here. We'll go 1st string, and then 2 quick notes, 2nd, 6th, and then 1st, 6th, 2nd, 1st. Now you don't have to target those strings identically as I've done it. You can pluck other notes around that E major chord as well if you want. If you just have that same rhythm, then it'll be fine, but this is how I'm playing it. And together with the 3rd bar. And the first line of tab in total. For the 2nd line of tab, the first 2 bars are identical, so nothing new to learn there. For the 3rd bar, the first part of this is similar to the 3rd bar in the first line of tab. So the G to the F sharp minor 7. But then on the 4 beat, we'll do just a muted strum, or you can just drop your hands down, and then we're going to get into this shape. So with our index finger bar across the 2nd frets of the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, and try to leave your 2nd and 1st strings open. Then you could use your ring or pinky finger to hit the 4th fret of the 4th string. Up to you. And we're strumming from the 5th string onwards, and that's our final chord. So the last 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the intro for this song, which sounds like this. Next we get to the verse, and there's 4 lines of tab here. So we're going to start with our E major, and we're going to hit the root note, and on the end beat after 1 we can just strum the chord from the 5th string onwards. So 1 and 2. On the end beat after 2 we'll go back to our root note, and then we'll shift to this position here. So ring finger will go on the 4th fret of the 5th string, and index on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now here we also want to mute our 4th string. We don't want anything ringing out in between the 5th and the 3rd string. So here we're going to strum on the 3 beat, and it doesn't really matter if you hit the open 1st or 2nd strings, but we do want to sort of just focus on the 5th and 3rd strings here. 4 beat we'll hit the open 6th string again, and then we'll slide up into this position. So index finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and middle finger on the 5th fret of the 5th. And again, we want our 4th string muted, and you can do that by lightly touching the 4th string with either your middle finger reaching over the top on the 5th string, or you could use your free ring finger to touch that 4th string as well. But again, we just focus on the 5th and 3rd strings, and if you happen to hit the 1st and 2nd string, that's okay as well. And that's on the end beat after the 4. And in total, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And on the end beat after 1 in the next bar, I just hit the 1st string or the 1st and 2nd strings with an upstroke, and then I pick it back up on the end beat after the 2 with a down, 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 up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and together with the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now for the 3rd and the 4th bar, we're doing something very similar, but just in the reverse order. So we're starting with this shape, moving back down here, and then ending with an E. And we're always starting with the open string before we hit those chords. So the 3rd bar. Now when we go to the E, you can choose to hammer your index finger into place. It gives it that really bluesy sound. Now for the 4th bar, again, we can pick it back up on the end beat after the 1 with an upstroke. Then on the end beat after the 2, continue with a down, 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 up. For the 3rd and 4th bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the first line of tab, which will sound like this. Now the second line of tab is identical to the first line of tab, so nothing new to learn there. The 3rd line of tab is similar in concept, but we're changing to A chords instead of E chords. To start off, you can bar your index finger across the 2nd frets of the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string to play your A. So hit the open 5th string, strum the A chord on the end beat after 1, so 1 and 2. On the end beat after 2, back to the root note. And then we're going to go to this position, so index on the 3rd fret of the 2nd and middle finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. And we want to have the string in between the 3rd string muted, and you can do that by lightly touching it with your middle finger. So focus on those strings on the 4 beat, back to the root note, and then slide to this position, so 5th frets of the 4th and 2nd. And again, we want that 3rd string muted, and you do that by lightly touching it with your middle finger. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on the end beat after the 1 in the next bar, we can pick it back up with an upstroke, and then on the end beat after 2, down, 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 up. So in total with the first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the 3rd and the 4th bar are similar, but again in reverse order. So we're going from this shape to this shape, back to our A. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So the 3rd line of tab in total. For the 4th line of tab, the first 2 bars are identical to the first 2 bars in the 1st and 2nd line of tabs. So it's just back to that E. For the third bar, it's almost the same as the third bar in the first and second line of tabs, but instead of ending on our E chord, we're going to end on a G#7, which is the same shape as an F bar chord, just up at 4th and 6th frets, and we're going to lift our pinky finger. So that's on the end beat after the 4, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we pick it back up on the end beat after 1, and we're going to strum with all down strokes at 8th notes, and then end it with one quick up strum at the end of that bar. So, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and last 2 bars of this verse. And in total, the verse will sound like this. Next we get to the chorus, and there are 2 lines of tab here. I'm going to start with an F#7 like this. Now I'm going to just bar my index finger across the 2nd frets and use my ring finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string. We're going to strum this with a down, 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 up, and then up to our G#7. And we're going to strum this 3 times, and then on the end beat after the 4, change to a C#7. So we're just shifting all our fingers to the strings below like this. And that's our C#7. So that's on the end beat after the 4. So 3 and 4 and in the first bar in total, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we pick it back up on the end beat after the 1 with a down, 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 up, and then one more down, 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 up. So the first 2 bars. Then we're going to go to a D sharp half diminished. So to play this, index and middle on the 6th frets of the 5th and 3rd string, and ring and pinky on the 7th frets of the 4th and 2nd. So we're focusing on those middle 4 strings. We're going to strum this with a down, 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 up, then to our G#7 with the same strumming pattern, and then our C#7, and this is going to be played with a down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So the 3rd and 4th bar. For the second line tab, we go back to our D sharp half diminished and G#7. For the second bar, we go to our C#7. We strum that, then go down 1 fret here, so C-7, then down 1 more fret to the B-7. And we strum that on the 3 and the 4 beat. 3, 4. So that bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to an A chord with a down, up, mute. So with a muted strum, you can just drop your hand onto the strings, and it's kind of more or less a down strum, but at the same time, your palm is hitting the strings, so you get that muted sound. So down, up, mute, and then we go up to this shape, which is an E major. So pinky finger on the 7th fret of the 5th, ring finger on the 6th fret of the 4th, index on the 4th fret of the 3rd, and then middle finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Now this shape is easiest to play when your hand is at a 45-degree angle to the neck, and then you curl your fingers in. If you're trying to play this flat on like this with your hand perpendicular to the neck, it's going to be really hard. So I'd suggest just turning a tiny bit and then curling your fingers in. So that's going to be played with a down, 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 up. So this bar, we go to a G#7. It's the same as our F#7 we had in the intro, but we're going to play it at the 4th frets. Strum that, down 1 fret, and then end in the F#7 position. And you can let those 2nd and 1st strings ring out as well. So the last 2 bars. that's it for chorus 1, which sounds like this. Next is the break, which is just the first line tab of the intro, so nothing new to learn there. Then there's the second verse, which is identical to the first verse. Then we have the second chorus, which is very similar to the first chorus, except it is extended. So after the F sharp minor 7 at the end, we actually go to an E chord. So in the fourth bar of the second line of tab, we go to an E chord, and I'm going to strum that like this. And I'm going to strum that with a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for the third line of tab, it's just basically the A to E and then the descending minor chords until we get to the F sharp minor 7, which sounds like this. And that's it for chorus number 2. If you want to see that in context, then just go to the playthrough at the end of this lesson, but it's more or less very similar to chorus number 1. Next is the solo section. Now, first I'm going to teach you the rhythm, and then I'll teach you the lead solo part. So first off, for the rhythm in the background, we basically can play what is in the intro of the song, but there is a change, and that's at the very end. So instead of going to this chord that we had in the intro, we're going to go to our G sharp 7 on that end beat after 4, and then build it into the third chorus. So the third and the fourth bar for this solo section. But otherwise it's pretty much the same as the intro. Okay, now for the lead solo, we're going to start with the 10th fret of the second string, so that A note, hit it and slide into the B, like that. And that's on the end beat after 1, so 1 and. Then with our ring finger here, we're going to take out index finger and put on the 10th fret of the first string. And we're going to hit some double stops here. So what that means is we're going to pluck 2 strings at once, the second and first strings. And each time you hit it, just lift your fretting hand. So don't let it ring out. We want that stabby staccato sound. And we're going to play that 6 times. And the bar in total. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the second bar, we'll hit this 12th fret, slide down to 10th fret, and then down to 8th fret, back up to 10th fret, back down to 8th. Hold that out. And at the very end, we're going to quickly hammer back onto the 10th fret. So this second bar and the first line of tab. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. For the next line of tab, we're going to start with this 10th fret of the second string, have it pre-bent a half tone, hit it and release. So have it bent first, pluck and release. Then down to 8th, 9th fret of the 3rd, and then 9th fret of the 4th. And that's all at 8th note, so 1 and 2 and. On the 3 beat, we'll go to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, pluck it, and hammer to 9th. Hold that out for a little bit, and then we have a quick run after this where we go down to 7th fret, and then we'll hit the 9th fret of the 4th string, hit it, and you'll quickly slide down to 7th, and then pull off to 5th. And then after that, we pluck the 7th fret of the 5th string. So that's a quick run, and all together, but faster. And this bar in total. The second bar will start with the 7th fret of the 5th string, then 5th fret of the 4th, hit the 7th, slide up to 9th, and then up to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So this first little chunk. And then for the next little lick, 7th fret again, 9th fret, 8th fret of the 2nd, back to 9th fret of the 3rd, and then hit the 10th fret of the 2nd, but we're going to have this pre-bent, release, and then down to 8th fret and hit that. And then we're going to end on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So this lick, and the second line of tab in total. For this next lick, we're gonna go to the 10th fret of the 2nd string, slide up to 12th, and then 10th fret of the 1st, and then 12th fret. So then you'll hit the 10th fret, but hammer onto 12th twice. And so far. After that, we go down to 10th fret, 12th fret of the 2nd, 11th, 10th, so chromatic run there. And then down to 8th, 9th fret of the 3rd string, then 10th fret, bend and release, and that chunk. And then we're going to end by hitting the 8th fret, and then the 9th fret of the 3rd string twice. And the 3rd line of tab. Then for the 4th line of tab, we go up to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, 15th fret of the 1st, hit it and do a slight bend, then down to 12th fret of the 1st string, 14th fret of the 2nd, back up to the 12th fret of the 1st, and so far. Then we'll shift this position down 1 fret, so 13th and 11th frets, hit these 2 strings together, and that full lick. And then for the final bar, we go 13th fret of the 3rd string, 14th fret of the 1st, and then 12th fret, and then 14th fret of the 2nd string, pluck it, and pull off to the 12th, and end on the 14th. So the final lick. And the 4th line of tab. And the solo in total. 1, 2. Next we get to chorus number 3. Now chorus 3 again is different to chorus 1 and 2. So the first part of chorus 3 is similar to chorus 1 and 2. After the descending minor chords, we're going to go back to the A to E. Then the descending chords again. Then the A to E again. Then we'll play the G sharp minor 7, the G minor 7, but then instead of going to our F sharp minor 7, we'll play a G add 9 like this. So that's that shape that we had in our intro. And we'll hold that out until the outro. So the last few bars. If you want to see chorus 3 in context, go to the playthrough at the end of this lesson, but it's more or less the same as chorus 1 and 2, just with a few different bars here and there. Then we have the outro, which is pretty much the same as the break, except we just end on the E chord when we strum it and hammer our index finger into place. So nothing really new to learn there either. And those are all the main guitar parts for Change the World. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song, and I'll have a vocal track on top for some context. Big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals to this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here, or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.